Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Okay, so I woke up like this. I know my hair looks crazy, but I don't care personally. Okay, so today I'm going to do the very sad case of Katrice Lee. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But what I wanted to add something in here first of all. I'm horrible with pronunciating names, like especially anything in the UK. Like that's just me. I never realized I had a problem until I started doing YouTube videos. Sorry guys, it's morning time. I don't do coffee. I'm trying to wake up, so please forgive me. Plus I'm trying to pack for my vacation. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so let's get started. Grab a drink. I got my sweet iced tea, which hopefully the caffeine will give me a boost here real soon. So grab a drink, sit back, chill out, relax. Here we go. Okay. Katrice Lee was born on November 28th of 1979 at the British Military Hospital in Rinteln, West Germany. Her father, Richard Lee, was a sergeant major in the 15th/19th, the King's Royal Hussars of the British Army stationed in West Germany, along with her mother, Sharon, and her elder sister, Natasha, who lived in the Schlob Neuhaus area of Paderborn, I think is how you say it. Okay, November 28th, 1981, Katrice's second birthday, they decided to go to the nearby Naffy shopping complex to buy things for her birthday party. Yeah. Katrice's elder sister, Natasha, decided she didn't want to go shopping, while her Aunt Wendy and Uncle Cliff, who also worked for the British Army, had come over from Bielefeld for the birthday party. So the sister stayed home. And let me say, like, this shopping complex, I think, is like what we in the U.S. know as a commissary, which are at all the military bases. Pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, so Wendy went to the Naffy with Katrice and her parents, while Cliff stayed at home with Natasha. Richie Lee drove them to the Naffy and waited for them in the car park. All right, so that day was the last payday before Christmas, so the Naffy complex was exceptionally busy. Katrice decided she didn't want to ride in the cart, so she was carried around the supermarket by her mom, Sharon. Sharon set her down at the checkout. Sharon briefly left the checkout before returning to find Katrice was nowhere to be found. Okay, when it says she briefly, it was probably what all of us moms have done before. You're in the one line and then you see, oh, right over here. Oh, that's something I think I need. So you walk right there, 3-4 steps away. Yeah. So she wasn't negligent, you know what I mean? So her Aunt Wendy thought, that Katrice had followed her mom down the aisle. So Aunt Wendy thought mom was watching her mom, didn't know what happened. And she vanished. The military police were effectively in charge, but they had to negotiate with the German civil police because the Naffy building was within a German town, not on the military premise. Both the military and the German police believed Katrice had fallen into the nearby river Lippe, I don't know, and drowned, but a body was never found. The German police refused to go to the press, and it was 6 weeks before an item appeared in the local newspaper. 6 weeks this poor baby was missing before they put anything in the paper. What in the, what is wrong with these people? Thank God for social media, because social media, when a child's missing now, pretty quickly, it can spread all over. So that's just so sad. The investigation produced little result, and despite dredging the river and conducting house-to-house inquiries, no trace of Katrice was ever found. Police reopened the case in the year 2000 after computer technology helped them to form an image of how she would look today. People came forward who had never been interviewed, including a man who had been standing behind the Lees at the checkout and one of the checkout ladies. One woman also came forward to say that her boyfriend at the time, who was in the same regiment as Katrice's father, had confessed to murdering the child. The man now lives in Northumbria, and the military police interviewed him, but he denied it, and the woman who gave the details died soon after, therefore ending the lead. Well, that sucks. I mean, shouldn't they have continued to investigate this guy? 3 possible sightings of Katrice came after her story appeared on the BBC television show Missing Live, where during the show a digital rendering of a 29-year-old Katrice was shown. Natasha, Katrice's older sister, appeared on Crime Watch to highlight the appeal, after which an anonymous woman phoned and left a message on Richard Lee's message machine saying, "Look for your daughter in France." The police took the message machine, but there was nothing more to the investigation. Lee was born with a distinctive condition in her left eye. It would have required 2 operations to correct it, so they were appealing for medical personnel with knowledge of these operations, to come forward if they operated on a child with this issue. In April 2018, it was announced that the British military police, in conjunction with the German police, would spend 5 weeks undertaking a forensic search on the banks of the Alm River. The search didn't uncover anything. In September of 2019, a man living in Swindon, Wiltshire, England, was arrested in conjunction with Katrice's disappearance, but he was subsequently released. So when I initially tried to connect with Katrice, I wasn't able to. It's hard a lot of times for me to connect with children. So fast forward to the next Friday, I sat down to try and connect with Katrice. I ended up getting distracted and the reading got pushed to the side. Let me just interrupt here and say that I emailed Katrina's father. He has a website, and I emailed him and said, "Look, I'm going to do a video," and I kind of really just wanted to talk to him and give him a heads up and talk to him about how, what I got from everything, and I never heard back. Okay, so that night I had a dream, and I was in like a commissary, and I was like up here, up above, and I was looking down, and there were like just rows of people lined up, like they were waiting to check out. And so I'm like up here, so I'm like right here, and then the lines of people are right here in front of me, okay? Over to the right, I saw this man standing there, and he was acting like he was looking at something on a shelf, but yet he kept kind of like peeking over. Excuse me. He had like light brown hair, receding hairline. He was probably 5'9", 5'10", 170 pounds. He wasn't like overweight per se. And then I got to look at my notes because I wrote down like, I wrote down the specifics of what he was wearing. Okay, he had a light blue shirt, long sleeves. Yeah, light blue shirt, but his sleeves were rolled up like just below his elbow. Okay, so there was a patch on the shirt, like right here, on the left side, there was a patch, and it looked like it said something, and then I couldn't focus on it, but it was like 2 separate patches. So it was like an almost like a not rectangular, like oblong emblem here, and then beneath it, it was like, this thick going across. So I couldn't see it. So I automatically thought, okay, so the little patch at the bottom that's like this was probably a name. So then I was thinking maybe he was in the military, right? Because like in the U.S. military, you have your name there. Yeah, he had like dark, I couldn't tell if they were dark navy blue or if they were black, but I have a really hard time distinguishing between those 2 colors anyway, so yeah. And then, he had black dress shoes on, and honestly, they looked like black dress shoes that you would see on military when they wear their, quote, dress blues and they wear their military dress shoes. That's what it reminded me of. They weren't shiny and they weren't like patent leather and shiny. So, but they were definitely like dress shoes. And I don't know how these people dress in this branch. I have no clue. Yeah. I'm seeing him. He's acting as if he's looking at this stuff on the shelf. And okay, so, all right. So like in this line, I can see a little boy, and then a couple of people back there was a little girl. And then in this line, there was one little girl that I could see. So he literally walked up and grabbed her, put his hand like over her mouth and like tucked her into him and took off. It was Katrice. It was Katrice. Okay, so I've had these dreams and visions enough times. I guess that when I'm in the dream, like I zoom in on certain things, and I tried to zoom in like on his patch or whatever it is on his shirt. I couldn't see it. But I will tell you what I noticed. While he was standing over there just fumbling, looking at something, I saw two women in the first line. Two different women. So like, there was a woman that was like second in line and then a woman that was like fourth in line. And they both kind of looked over at him, noticed him, and then looked back, and then they kind of like looked back again. Like something, you could tell something didn't sit right with them. All right. And I don't know that these women realized that that meant something. And so many times that happens, like witnesses don't come forward because they think, oh, I didn't see anything. You know what I mean? But the least little thing could be a huge clue. And I do believe these two women, they were fairly young. I mean, they were probably in their 20s. So I'm hoping, they're still around. But I do think they saw him and they kind of like, were just kind of like watching him. Because I think he was just out of place. It was Christmas time. There were a lot of moms in there shopping for their kids and their family for Christmas. And then you see this, 35, 40-year-old man standing there kind of fumbling around looking at something, but he was looking at something, but he wasn't. He was trying to act like he was focused on what he was looking at. But you could tell he was like, scanning the crowd and looking back and forth. And I think that's what stood out to these two women. And I think, my gosh, if they realize how important what they saw was, they could 100% describe this guy to a T. They may have even seen the patches on his shirt. I mean, they may have had a better view at his patches. I didn't. I tried to zoom in but yeah. Okay, so I definitely felt like there was something off about this guy, but I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on what felt so off about him. I don't know. I will say that I don't feel like Katrice is still here. I feel like her energy's gone. I hate saying that. So again, I tried to connect with Katrice after this, and I wasn't able to. But I will tell you this. When I was trying to connect with her, I couldn't connect with her. This was the second time, I think, or third time. So all of a sudden, I get the year 76 and a burgundy red Chevette. So it's very well possible that this person was driving a 1976 burgundy red Chevette, because I don't know why I would get that. You know what I mean? I wasn't working on any other cases right then. So it wouldn't make sense that it was connected any other way. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's the other interesting thing. I get this Chevette, and then I started a little while later seeing this woman like in her 20s. She definitely seemed like she was high on something. I don't know how she's connected, but she's connected somehow. So she's probably in her early 20s, light brown hair. She had light straight hair. maybe 5'4", 125 pounds, and she had really piercing blue eyes. That's the one thing that really stood out to me. Like, I have blue eyes, but her eyes were like piercing. So if she were to wear, say, like a turquoise shirt, her eyes would be like so amazingly piercing. So, I mean, that's one thing, because I mean, you don't go through life and see people with those piercing blue eyes too often. You know what I mean? They were piercing. Like, yeah. The other thing is, I was feeling that this was definitely somehow planned, but Katrice just happened to be the victim. It wasn't that they had her in mind. It was just they were going to take a child. And I kind of feel like the 20-year-old woman, I kind of feel like they were taking the child for her. I don't know why that I feel that. It's just sad anyway you cut it, guys. It's another sad one. I know I say that all the time. But here's a child unnecessarily, you know, snatched away, and it just breaks my heart. Yeah, so be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy, do what you got to do to get through, you know, but be kind to others, you know, go out of your way. If you have a neighbor that you haven't talked to in a while, just say, hey, how are you? Just wanted to check on you. You know what I mean? Like, this is such a bad time. So, that about does it for me. Bye, guys.